This is the Momentum Podcast.
Welcome. Thanks so much for being here. I'm excited to be here with you today. In fact, I'm just having a really great day. One of our members, Ika Green, who was formerly with Credit Repair Cloud as their operator, is now coming back to our program is as an operator for a new business called Unlimited Tech Solutions. So whenever I have a day where we have a member who used to be in our program who's coming back, it's always a great day for me. So I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to share this information with you. In fact, I had a lot of fun putting together this video because, in our company, what we do is we help entrepreneurs grow and scale their businesses without having to do everything themselves. And one of the most critical aspects of being able to do this is helping entrepreneurs who have the entrepreneurial personality type and are visionaries and who want to be going forward all the time and who live for momentum find their operator personality type or the operator in their business. And here's the issue. For the most part, the operator and the visionary personality get along incredibly well. Operators want to be able to build things. They want to be able to do things. They want to be able to make things happen. They want to be able to have an effect on the world, and they want an outcome that they can achieve, and they love goals. In fact, I was just meeting with my operator, Haley, this week, and I remember I said something about having a time limit, and she's like, I love goals. I love time limits. You know, that personality type is so crucial for us as entrepreneurs. Having that operator there to help us is life-changing. Now, as visionaries, most of the time we get along with our operators. However, there are some really important parts about the operator personality type or important aspects of the operator personality type that when we understand, we can protect our operator, we can stop scaring them, or as I said in the title of this video, stop terrifying your operator. We can help them regulate their nervous systems. And here's the important part. We can help them be way more productive and get more done in our business for us.
I'm Alex Sharfin, and this is the Momentum Podcast, made for empire builders, game changers, trailblazers, shot takers, record breakers, world makers, and creators of all kinds. Those among us who can't turn it off and don't know why anyone would want to. We challenge complacency, destroy apathy, and we are obsessed with creating momentum so we can roll over bureaucracy and make our greatest contribution. Sure, we pay attention to their rules, but only so that we can bend them, break them, then rewrite them around our own will. We don't accept our destiny, we define it. We don't understand defeat because you only lose if you stop, and we don't know how. While the rest of the world strives for average and clings desperately to the status quo, we are the minority, the few, who are willing to hallucinate there could be a better future. And instead of just daydreaming of what could be, we endure the vulnerability and exposure it takes to make it real. We are the evolutionary hunters, clearly the most important people in the world, because entrepreneurs are the only source of consistent, positive human evolution, and we always will be.
So I made some notes here, and I have the top 5 things that I think really throw operators off the most. And by the way, if you're an operator and you're in this group and you're watching the video, please let me know below if you feel the same way about these 5 things as the other operators I've talked to. And just so you know, as a company, we work with both the visionary entrepreneur and the operator. In fact, I like to tell visionaries, I like to tell entrepreneurs that are growing businesses, let us train your operator, let us train your team, let us show them how to support you better. And this video is about how you can support them better. But most of the content, most of the stuff we put together is how can that operator support you better? And this is how you can show up better for them. So you create a symbiotic relationship where both of you are growing. You're helping each of you are helping the other get what they need to get done, and you get into that position that is so incredible as an entrepreneur where you have an operator you trust. They are helping you knock things down and get things done. You feel safe in your business, you feel protected in your business, and the business is growing like we want it to. Now, here are the top 5 ways you can scare, slow down, throw off, terrify your operator, even give them heart palpitations. All right, so ready? Here are the 5, and then I'm gonna tell you how to stop doing these. So number 1 is unscheduled interactions or calls. When you send your operator a text and say, hey, can we jump on a call? Or, hey, I need you right now. Operators' minds don't think that way. In fact, here's how operators' minds think. They're adding up all of the interactions that they've had with you, and they're trying to create an outcome. And when you say, hey, can we jump on right now? Here's what they're going to think most of the time. they'll probably think they're getting fired. And I know that sounds crazy. And even if you do this all the time, operator personality types, when there's an interruption in their huge process in their head, the process that they're building in their head, the processes that they're building in the business, when there's an interruption, they almost always go to worst case scenario. So you don't want to do this. Again, I'm going to tell you how to get out of this in just a minute. So that's number one. Number two is when you have gotta minutes with the operator. It's like, instead of just unscheduled calls or interactions, you're constantly asking them, hey, I need to talk to you for a second. Hey, I need to go through this with you. Here's why. Operators need time to think. They need time to process. They need time to take in everything that's going on, organize it in their head, create a better process, and then put it into the business. The more we interrupt them, the more we catch them off guard, the more we're making it really hard for them to do that. The next one is when we show up unexpectedly. If an operator's having a meeting with somebody, or if you happen to work with an operator in the same building and you walk down the hall and just jump in without any announcement, without any warning, without letting them know, oftentimes that is worst case scenario for operators. And the operator personality type is a robust one. They're resilient. They can get things done. But in the moment when you interrupt them, in the moment when you show up unexpectedly, I've had operators tell me they get heart palpitations. They get thrown off. They can't think straight. They can't think about what they're doing. It's really that dramatic for them. And see, here's why it's important for us to know this. As visionaries, unscheduled calls, gotta minutes, showing up unexpectedly, this is kind of just how we operate. And so the better we can help our operator, the better we can protect our operator, the more they're gonna be able to get done for us without feeling like they're falling behind. The next one is when we come up with either we make last minute decisions that change everything, or we ask our operator to make a last minute decision. It is really hard for an operator to work under in the moment pressure. Here's what operators do. They take on knowledge. They organize and consolidate. They look at everything going on in a system, this ecosystem called a business, and then they figure out how to make things better. If we put them under last minute pressure, if we say you need to do this right now, that's a heart palpitation moment for them. That's an overwhelm moment for them. That's a I don't know how I'm going to get this done moment for them. So there's a better way. And then the fifth one, and this is the last one, when we have conversations with our operators without context. And I laugh about this one because I used to do it all the time, but I see entrepreneurs do it all the time, especially like at our events. I watch and it happens. It's where we say something like, just out of the blue to our operator, hey, what would happen if we changed the way we onboarded people onto our email system, and we changed the 2 current projects that we have, and we modified our marketing calendar for next year, and we modified how we're going to do. And as soon as we start talking, here's what the operator is thinking. Oh man, that's going to break this, and it's going to break this, and it's going to break this other thing, and it's going to throw this other thing in half. And they are terrified because we're just stream of thought processing with them. And this is not how we want to do it. So let me give you what you can do instead in each of these cases. So number one, for unscheduled calls or interactions, here's what I do with Haley, and here's what I suggest that every entrepreneur does with their operator. We have to build more discipline. Oh, and I know entrepreneurs don't love to hear that. You know, as entrepreneurs, we're like, I want to talk to them because they work with me. I want to talk to them because I need to talk to them right now. I feel like I need to get this off my chest. I don't want it to wait. Well, if we're willing to be a little more disciplined and hold whatever we need to talk about until the next time that we're going to talk to, or sorry, not hold whatever we're going to talk about. If we're willing to schedule enough time with our operators where we're talking to them routinely, we cut down on the unscheduled interruptions that we have. And so the first thing for unscheduled interruptions, unscheduled calls, here's what I do. I have a daily meeting with my operator, Haley, every day at 8:50, right before we go into our leadership huddle. For 10 minutes, we talk from 8:50 to 9 o'clock, and anything that needs to happen, that's where I bring things up. And here's why it's okay. There's no foul for bringing anything up in that 10 minutes, or for her to bring anything up in that 10 minutes, because it's pre-scheduled. She knows we're going to talk about stuff that's going on in the business. And so rather than having an unscheduled interruption, I schedule enough time with Haley so that we're always talking. This is what I recommend our members do. Schedule a daily meeting with your operator. I know none of us like to have a daily meeting on our calendars, but here's the great thing about my daily meeting with Haley. Oftentimes I'll have that interaction with her, and that's all we need for the day. I get a ton of my time, effort, and energy back so I can go focus somewhere else. The second issue that I brought up, the gotta minutes, the interruptions, here's what you do with those. You hold those until your scheduled time with the operator. Rather than just throwing everything at your operator as it comes up, hold them until you have pre-scheduled time with them. They're expecting to talk to you. They're expecting to have that type of interaction with you. It'll make them much calmer and help them organize their thoughts and help you get things done. The next one, showing up unexpectedly. Now, this is if you work with your operator, if you're dropping into a meeting that they're in. if you have to talk to your operator, if something's come up and you need to interrupt them and it's an unscheduled meeting, you're dropping in unexpectedly, not scheduled, warn them ahead of time. Even if you can only give them 5 minutes, even if you can give them as much time as you can, but shoot them a text message, shoot them some type of a message that they're going to get before you get there that says, hey, I'm really sorry. I've got an unscheduled conversation we need to have. Here's what it's about. Here's what my issue is. And here's why I feel like I need to talk to you. Let them know ahead of time, because here's what operators want more than anything else. They want to be prepared. They want to look like they know what they're doing. They want to show up in a way that supports you. Give them the opportunity to do that by giving them warning if you do have something come up that's unscheduled. It's not like you can never do it. Just do it in a way that makes it easier for them. The last two, last minute decision making. You know, I used to do this to Haley all the time. I've done it to every operator I've ever worked with, and I've done it less and less over time because I want my operator to be crazy productive and feel comfortable, have their nervous system regulated. I don't want them feeling overwhelmed or panicked or attacked. And here's what happens. When you take the operator personality type and you say, hey, I need you to make a decision right now, you give them a really hard place to be because they don't do well under pressure, most of them. Some of them, let me rephrase that. They do incredibly well under pressure, but they don't love it. And they don't want to be under pressure over and over again. And decision-making fatigue for an operator when they're under pressure is massive. It's exhausting. It hurts them. It makes it hard for them to continue. It makes it hard for them to be productive. So if you have to meet with your operator and introduce something that's a decision to them, here's what I do with Haley. Before I even introduce what I want her to think about, I say up front, Haley, this is something I want you to think about for the next few hours. Or if I can, I'll say, Haley, this is something that I want you to think about for overnight. Like, sleep on this, and then let's talk about it tomorrow. I know this is an unexpected decision, but I just want your input here. I'll give her absolutely as much time as I can. If it has to be by the end of the day, I give her to the end of the day. If it can wait till the next day, and most things can, even though we don't want them to, I'll give her to the next day. So instead of saying, Haley, I've got this decision I need you to make right now, I start the conversation with, Haley, I've got a decision, and this is something you're going to be able to sleep on. You know what immediately happens? As soon as I say this is something you're going to be able to sleep on, she opens more to the conversation. It makes it easier for her. She's now not in a panic situation saying, do I have to do something right now? She's in a place where she says, okay, I have time. Even if I say, Haley, I don't need this until the end of the day, that in and of itself gives her a time frame to say, you don't have to do it right now, which is what an operator wants. They want to succeed for you. They want to make the right decision, not the fastest decision. And they want to be able to know that any decision they make isn't going to hurt all the other decisions you and they have made in the business. And then the last one, conversations without context. This one is one of the this is one of those that I used to do all the time. And I think sometimes without meaning to, I'll do that. I'll still do it today. Here's how you have a conversation with your operator. Here's what I want. Here's what I know about me and about most visionaries. A lot of us are verbal processors. We want to talk through something to understand what we should do next. And a lot of times when we're talking through something, it sounds like we're making decisions. It sounds like we're actually changing things. It sounds like we might be undoing a lot of work that we've done. And so here's what I do with Haley. I let her off the hook. I'll say, Haley, I just want to process with you. I'm not making any decisions right now. I just want to talk through a few things and get your input and get your perspective. And like I said, I'm not going to change anything, but I just want to know what you think. And so up front, I frame the conversation. I put a context around the conversation so that she's not sitting there listening to everything I say, thinking, is he going to change that? Is he going to do that? What's going to happen next? How much of this is going to change? I've already got a ton of stuff to do. Do I need to start changing my schedule? Do I need to look at getting more time? Instead, I just say, hey, I want to verbal process something with you. I just want to talk through it. I want to make sure I understand, and I want to get your perspective. And it lets her off the hook, calms her nervous system, makes the conversation far easier. Here's what we need to remember about the operator personality type. When we're working with a really solid operator, they're going to be the most sensitive to these things, the most sensitive to unscheduled interruptions, to God minutes, to us showing up unexpectedly, to having them make last minute decisions, to having conversations where there's not a context. The better the operator, the higher the sensitivity. And so if you have an incredible operator in your business, or if you're going to go out and hire an incredible operator, remember these things that we do as visionaries and the simple modifications that we can do to calm down our operator and stop terrifying them, to give them a better chance at making the right decision and moving things forward, and to help them help us grow the business that we are running so we don't have to do everything ourselves. The relationship between the visionary and the operator is one of the most crucial in our business. And as visionaries, we can do a ton to support that operator, protect that operator, and help them be as productive as they possibly can be as they're going out and helping us grow our businesses. This is a game changer if you're willing to apply even just a few of these changes to how you communicate with your operator. You're going to find that they're more productive, they're happier, and you and your business are getting a lot more done. If you're interested in understanding more about the visionary operator relationship, or if you're interested in us helping you either train your operator or find an operator and then train them to protect and support you in your business, go to billionairecode.com right now. Billionairecode.com, where you can download our Billionaire Code, the 9 levels that it takes to go from $0 to $100 million. You will have the full matrix so you understand what you should be focusing on in your business, and you'll have an opportunity to set up a call with my team where we can help you understand what's going on in your business and see if we can help you. If you don't have an operator in your business right now, I guarantee you it is the biggest lever that you can have to help you grow and scale a business that is already up and running. It is game changing when you have that person in operations that you can trust, that is your counterpart. As you create the vision, they're helping you make it real. Go to billionairecode.com right now, download the Billionaire Code, set up a call with my team, and let us show you how we can help you grow the business you want without having to do everything yourself. Billionairecode.com, and thanks again for being in this group and for helping me, and for being here for this video today.